were attending yesterday? Okay, almost everyone. Good. Okay. I have to ask first, do we have for the whiteboard? Because I think I will like to use it later. Okay. Thank you for the invitation, Anne. And well, my stepfather has been saying for 15 years. I have 3 kids, and when the kids were young, and they always wanted to know where I was, even if I just were in the kitchen. And they said, "Where's mom? Where's mom?" And my stepfather always said, "Oh, she's in Africa." And finally he's right. So now I'm here. I'm really happy to be here. And you know, for 7 years I've been speaking full time. I do different things, I will tell you about it. But I always wanted the Norwegian people to be more like the African people. So I've been trying to get them to dance, and then I went to the United States and I saw they were dancing. So unfortunately we don't have a sound, but I will show you just a small clip of what I'm doing in Norway. Them in Norway. And yesterday was a really interesting day, and it gave me a lot of insights where we talked about the mental health and the stories. And I started to think, wow, we have different stories in different countries, but we are human beings with a brain, with a mind. So today maybe I will shock you. Maybe some will think, oh no, this is not correct. And I will just encourage you to be open-minded this hour. So, when we talked about the mental health yesterday, we heard that depression is more dangerous than cancer. And then I was thinking, maybe that's right. And I thought, okay, it depends on who you are asking, because we all have a story. That was me 5 years ago. Does anyone know this? Wakanda? Have you heard about it? Is there someone? Okay. It's the homeland of the Black Panther. And you see they have the Northern Light, or it seems like the Northern Light. I am from the top of Norway, from Finnmark. Has anyone been in Norway? Except Kristin, of course, and Ragnar? No? Okay, you're welcome. This is my homeland, and we have the Northern Light. This is my hometown. It's called Kjøllefjord. It's a really, really small place with only 1,000 people living there. I grew up in a fishing boat. When you hear someone speaking, you can have a lot of information, like we are having at this conference. We have very excellent people bringing us a lot of information, and that is so valuable for me and for you, I hope. And then we need maybe some motivation to get going, some inspiration to be thinking that I'm going to do something different. But today I will be not sharing so much information with you. Maybe I will be sharing some motivation and inspiration, but my hope for you is to share a transformation. That we will have a transformation, because that is what we need. We see at campus, we see the vision. That's what we need. But of course, Norway is a very rich country. And here you can see some statistics. I could be talking about this for a week, about how we're doing things in Norway. And this statistic shows that women are speaking up more than before. And also, I have been a victim, and I will talk a little bit about that and why it was hard, and why we are seeing the same thing now in 2018 like we did in the 80s. I don't know if you have heard about it, but in 2011 we had a terror attack in Norway. I don't remember exactly, was it 77 people who were killed, and then the statistic went high. But we don't have, of course, normally so many people being killed, but victims are all over the place. What happened in Norway when so many people were killed in Utøya in 2011, where the people decided to give love. They decided to support each other instead of bringing out the hate. And that was really, really special. There was one girl that were at Utøya that said, if one man can show so much hate, think how much love we can show together. And I think that's a little bit about what it is. To become a butterfly, to do the transformation. To avoid the victimhood. To get out of the victimhood. And to create a new story. And that is what I want to talk about today. To create a new story. Because if we want to do something different, we need to create a brand new story. I would encourage you to think, how can I? Some years ago, I didn't have a lot of money. And I read, I don't know if you heard about him, but there's a man called Robert Kiyosaki. And he wrote a very, very good book that's called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And he lived, have anyone read it? Yeah, someone did, good. It's an amazing book, Robert Kiyosaki. You can just Google Rich Dad, Poor Dad and you will find him. And he grew up with Rich Dad and Poor Dad. He had two dads. And the poor dad always said to him, no, we can't afford it, we can't do it, we can't do it, we can't do it. And the rich dad said to him, how can we do it? And after I read that book, that was a really mind-blowing thing for me, because then I started to think, in every situation I got in, I started to think, how can I? So when I got the cancer in 2013, my mind started to think, how can I live? How can I live with this? And how can I just not exist, but live a really good, happy life? Today, I want to focus on the result we want to have. Because we can have a lot of information, but if we are not thinking about the result, we can have a lot of goals also, but when we are achieving the goals are like in 1 second. In 1 second we don't have a car, and in the next second we have a car. Agree? You don't have a house, and suddenly, wow, one day you got a house. But what happens after, when you achieve the goals? What is the result you want? So please focus on the result, because I will be sharing a little of my story, but I would like for you to think about your story, your work, you're studying. Because honestly, there is no doctor in front of my name. I am not a PhD, but I have a master in life. Thank you. I will be very happy if I can have some water. Okay, so my vision is this: unstucking people in life and business. So everywhere I go, I find someone that is stuck on something, and I do my best to help. That's also why I'm here today, like I said yesterday, to learn, but also to see if I can bring something new to you that you can use in your life and in your studying and your work. So, when you become a victim in Norway, what happens? Well, I actually he talked yesterday about we all have a diagnosis, we are all crazy somehow, and I am also. So I have tried the mental hospital. We have a lot of, we have a lot of mental hospitals in Norway, and of course you can get some help, and you will get a lot of pills also. So it depends how good help you get, but we got the money. So here is my resume. This is the only page, the only slide with bullet points. So I am a Sápmi woman from Finnmark. So Sápmi, we speak another language, but when I was young, I was not able to learn the Sápmi language. My grandmother taught Sápmi, and they told, no, you can't talk Sápmi, you have to talk Norwegian. So I tried all my years to say to my grandmother, can you please learn me Sápmi, teach me how we can speak it. But no, it all had to be Norwegian. So that's also being a victim, not be able to speak your own language. I used to say I have 3 children and they all have the same mother. I have been taking care of myself since I was a little young girl, and I grew up with alcoholic men. So every day in my house there were like 10 to 20 men partying. So I was, I think, maybe 4 years when I started to just being on my own. My mother worked very, very hard at the fish factory, so I was alone with the alcoholic men. I was abused, and yesterday, listening to the stories of the young girls getting pregnant, it just brought me back, and I thought, we are all the same. There is no difference, because when I grew up in this beautiful village of Finnmark, everybody knew that there was a party at my house every day, but nobody said anything. And I think this is, if you want to remember one thing today, speak up. Because if we don't speak up, nothing ever changes. I realized when I grew up that it was normal to be sexually abused by men in your family. And this, women and men, this is Norway, one of the richest countries in the world. So we are all the same. I was so obsessed by becoming someone because I grew up, oh, you're belonging to that family is not good, it's only alcoholic. So I had this power in me that I wanted to be someone. I used to joke and to say, oh, I want to be a VIP, very important person, because Persson is my last name. So I had this power in me, but I didn't ask anyone for help. So I think that also for victims to start asking for help, and for all of us others to see people and to see if is there anything we can do to help. But I didn't ask anyone, so I started my own business and I went bankrupt in 2002. And then I was put into a mental hospital because I had suicidal thoughts. So I've done it all on the victim list. In 2013, I thought, no, this is good. I'm done with being a victim. And then I got incurable cancer. I got breast cancer that spread to my lungs, 8 tumors in my lungs. And the doctor said, worst case scenario, you will have a half year left to live. But I'm going to prove them wrong. And I have done for 5 years, because I truly believe if you find your power, no matter what victim you are, I think you can live a good life. I would like for you to, I have a question, and because we are so many here today, so I just want you to hook up with your person beside you, and I want to give you 1 minute, and I want to challenge you, because I would like to ask you, who are the biggest victims? Is it a crime? Is it a sexual? Is it sickness? Is it mental? Who are the biggest victims? Just talk with each other, 1 minute, just discuss. It's because of our story. Okay. So today, I am a businesswoman, and I travel in Norway, and I've been to Russia, to Spain, and I'm here, very happy to be here. And I hope to inspire people to start a better story. And I find the power in everything I do. And some people get angry when I talk about cancer because they say, no, it's sorry us because we have cancer. But I do believe if we think sorry, then we are truly a victim and we can get out of the victimhood. Last year I lived in Santorini, also to find more happiness. People come to me after they've tried everything. After they've been into mental care for 20 years, 30 years, and they can't find a way out, they come to me and they ask, how can I do it? So that's why I want to share. You heard just a little bit about my story. And I could, of course, talk about that for some hours, but that's not the point. Because we all have our story. And in Norway, I used to say, we have everything, but that's all we have. Because we have the money, but the money is not enough. It's the mindset we need. Are we living from the inside and in, or from the inside and out? When I went bankrupt in 2002, I actually saw countries that don't have a lot of money, and I saw something. I saw happiness. And that's what I love. When me and Anna came to the airport, we met John, and it was like this, and we love it, because we are like that. It's like coming home. So, I truly believe that you have what it takes. You can find money, there are resources everywhere, but I truly believe inside of you, I think you have the happiness mindset. And that is kind of what we are lacking. At least a lot of people are lacking it in Norway, because you get everything. You don't need to work. The government take care of you, so you can be a victim. It's really easy to be a victim, because the challenge when you become a victim, it's actually good to be there. So people say, oh no, I don't want to be abused, I don't want to be negative, have it bad. But you know, when you're used to it, it's like pain. When you have pain in your shoulders or back or something, physical pain, when you have it for some years, you know, you're used to it. It's like a part of you. And also abuse is. So the challenge is that there are some walls, of course. Like Utøya, we lost a lot of young people. And there is pain, there is sorrow, and we don't know how to do it. And we don't see the solution. And like we heard yesterday also, there is a lot of fear going on. We have the excuses, we want to be in control of the future, of what we're doing, but it's difficult when you want to get out of victimhood. And you're thinking, oh poor me, I'm a victim, and then you meet other people that also thinking poor me, and then we can say poor us. The most dangerous thing for me is the Cancer Society. I worked with them last year, and I met people that had a little tiny cancer in the 70s. And they are still so afraid. They have lived from the 75 till 2017, and they go, oh my God, if I get cancer again. Yeah, that can happen. But sorry to say, it happens to a lot of people. Cancer is normal. 1 of 3 or 1 of 4 get cancer. So we can choose. Do we want to live in fear, or do we live in trust? I trust that I'm going to live many years, because I have some messages to share. So I'm not done yet. I have many countries to visit. So we can think for us, and we are lacking the strategy. We can become angry, and we are looking at the past. If this happened yesterday, like if we are sexual abused, this happened to me when I was young, then I can't be involved with a man, because maybe I will be abused. It's all about trust. Starting to trust life, and don't use the victim card all the time. But they like you to use it, and it's actually good when people feel sorry for you. It's like you see in Facebook. When you are losing someone, people dying or people being sick, oh, we can get all the hearts and the attention on Facebook, and it's good. But what life is it? So, I just want to show you some of it's really easy, but it's truly important, and that's the way I live. My customers call it the V, because you can choose every day. You have fear on the right, on the left side, and you have the control, because we need to control it. And when we are also fighting, when you get cancer, they say, oh, you have to fight, you have to win this battle. But cancer is not a war. When you are making war, I believe that what we send out is what we get in return. So when we send out war, we get war back. So that's why, a little bit cliche, but living with love and living with trust. And we can choose, everybody can choose every day, every second, you can choose. I call it the next right step. And of course, when we become a victim, it's okay to feel sorry for ourselves for a while, to be in bed or just to cry, be angry, be crazy, whatever. But there comes a point when important both for the victims and for those who are supporting victims, and to help them out of the victimhood. So every day you can ask yourself, what is my next right step today? Is it to live in fear, to be afraid of everything, of the world? How are we going to fix this? How can we make Kenya, Africa better? Are we going to live in fear, to control everything because we are afraid of the future? Or are we living in love, in trust, helping each other, lifting each other, doing something important? So fear is one of the main problems why we are not doing it good. But I say this is a little bit provocative, it can be when you are a victim. But when you create a new story, this is really powerful. Because fear is either in the past or in the future. Of course, if I am in Svalbard out of Norway, I can think, oh, I can eat a polar bear. Or when you're going to a safari, maybe I can be afraid if the animals come too close. I can choose to live in fear. But statistically, nothing will happen. We are either afraid of the past, that the past will be again and again, and it will bring us the fear in the future. So for me, it's all about living in the now, living in the moment. The solution to choose a transformation, to choose something completely different in your life, and to make a step-by-step strategy. We heard about it yesterday. We need more of that and that and that and that, and to see what is important. Have you heard of Pareto's law? Someone heard about it? Yeah? It's 20. It's the 20 rule. You are doing 20% and you're getting 80% results. So we have to find the 20%. What programs, what project is the 20%? Because that's the only thing we need to do. A lot of the others is not important. So find the step-by-step strategy we need. And also find the world-class support. Check out who did it before. What did they achieve? Was it good? Okay, we can learn from them. And also we can talk about the mindset a lot. But also I want to add energy. Because energy, we could talk for hours about that, but we know that if we wake up in the morning and we don't feel that we have energy, we can't do much. If we have a good energy, a working environment where it's good energy, then we can achieve much more. So going in and meeting people and say, okay, if you lack energy, what can you do? What will bring you more energy? Because when we are surrounded with people with a lot of energy, we can achieve so much more. So find the fear, find the problem where it's low energy. Transformation, when something important changes and lasts. I think the most important thing is that we have some progress, that we are not stopping. Of course we are struggling, but if we keep going every day and thinking, okay, my next right step, what is it today? Can I do just something today that will make it a little bit better? Then we are going far. And you can think that, okay, I'm from Norway, it's a rich country, we have all the resources, we don't have that. But for me, I have been starting from zero with everything. I didn't have money. Of course, it was not like living on the streets, but I was what you call a poor woman in Norway. And I had 3 children, and we had food on the table, we made it, but everything I've done is from zero. So I truly believe that if we have the right mindset, the right energy, and decide to create a new story, we can actually go from 0 to hero. We can do something big. Because we all have the same brain, we all have the same. It's about what we experience. What happened to us? Why are we thinking like we're thinking? From impossible to possible. And some people also get angry when I say it takes 1 second. But we choose all the time. We choose fear or love. We choose control or trust. Every day we have all these choices. It takes us 1 second. If we feel the fear, if we are lost, we can stop and we can think, okay, I want to choose differently. You can choose differently. It's not the success that will bring us happiness. That is so wrong. We think if we have enough money, we have the success, we will be so happy. A lot of my customers are women in the 40s, 50s. They have a lot of money, but they are not happy. So it's not the success that brings us happiness. I think it is the happiness that brings us that success. So you have all the resources, you have everything you need. Find the happiness, find the power, change the mindset and start doing. And then you can do extremely big things. We are the average of the 5 people we spend the most time with. It is a quote, and I think it is true. Because if people are negative around us, you know, some people say, oh, she's so negative, no, I don't like her. When you spend a lot of time with negative people, you become negative. You do it. So you can just think about who are you surrounding yourself with. I also always say, don't be the smartest one in the room. You know, challenge yourself and go into a room where you are not the smartest person and learn. Do all you can to learn something. What are we taught? What did we hear? Like for money, if you think, what did you hear about money when you were young? What did your parents tell you? A lot of people say, I can't afford, we can't do it, it's not possible. If you heard that about 20 years, 30 years, you know, when you hear something enough times, you start to believe it. Agree? So we have to change. What do we believe? What do we think is possible for us to do? Is it okay to be a victim? When we say, I have been abused, I have no money, I have cancer, I am a victim, that's what I could tell the world. I could talk 5 hours just about the cancer, about everything that happened. But that's not important to me. Because I don't want to see me as, oh, the poor Norwegian woman with incurable cancer. You think of me that way? No. I want you to think, oh, she talked about creating a new story. We can do it. It's about the mindset. I have to change something. I have to find more smart people. That's what I want you to remember. And it's all about the habits. What are you doing when you wake up in the morning? What are you thinking during the day? What feelings do you have? What action do you take? What do you do to make a better result for yourself and those you love, those you work with, to help victims? And this is shocking. This is true. We have around 50,000 thoughts in one day. And they say, statistics say that 70% is negative. And this is also true. Around 95% of our thoughts are old thoughts. And this scares me. And that's why I want to show you, this is my most important stuff, because this is a normal person. We wake up in the morning with a thought. And you can say it's an automatic negative thought, 70% of it. And because of your thought, you have a feeling 70% negative, because that's the statistic. So you have a negative feeling. And what do? Well, you do a negative action. And manifesting, we can take it like sitting in the pink bubble and manifesting, or we can think everybody's manifesting. And I say to people, and they get angry, you have manifested your own life. The life you live today, you have manifested it. It's okay to be angry, to be sad, but the good part, when we have manifested something, we can manifest something something different, right? It's possible if we decide to do it. Everybody manifests. Business people manifest. Athletes, they're going, like in Norway we have skiing. They vision for themselves. Oh, the perfect slope, they're going down. They are seeing it. Everybody is manifesting. So that's why I'm using a different model. I am changing everything, I'm turning everything upside down. And this is how I help people when they have been struggling for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. I'm using this method. I'm changing. So you are starting with manifesting. You are starting with manifesting instead of the negative thoughts. So when you wake up in the morning, you create a new story for yourself. You vision a new story. Meditation, yoga, whatever it takes. Have a different mindset. Use affirmation, positive sentences. There are so many things you can do to create a new story. And then you are imagining a new story for yourself, for your work, for Nairobi, for Kenya, for Africa, for everything. And it's possible. So you start with manifesting and then you are pushing yourself to take some action. At least 5 minutes. Because you need to bring something new into your feelings and your mindset. We talked a lot about mindset yesterday. When you are pushing yourself to action, you should also feel good about it. It's like when you want to exercise, you want to start to run, okay? Oh, it's so hard to run, it's so hard to run. No! Oh, I'm so good at running there! You're changing it, and then you're changing your feelings. And your feelings is everything. How you feel, that's how we act. And when you are changing your feeling, you're actually replacing your mind. It's like a software. You're replacing your old negative thought into something new. And of course, it takes time to do it, but it's working. I call it the Maer method because we are manifesting, we're taking action, we are taking care of which energy level are we working in, and we are also taking care of our routines, our rituals, and repeating it. How much time do I have? 2 minutes. Good, thank you. So, you can create a new story by manifesting. Creating it. It's like designing. We always start with writing it down because we are so hung up in the old thoughts. So we are always writing down the new story. I do it with business women also. We are writing the new business story for their business. And it's working. It's extremely good. So we write the new story and we take action upon the new story, pushing yourself to do some new action. Focusing on where are we? Are we happy or are we depressed? And we are also changing the routines, the habits, because we are the habits of our own. So, I will encourage you to make a vision for yourself. Make one sentence for yourself that is truly important for you. That when you wake up in the morning, you have a vision. You have something to go to. You have something that is more important than being a victim or being in fear, being in control, making excuses, procrastinating, all those things that we don't want. So a vision for you, your family, your work, your area, your country, and our world. It starts with you. It starts with us. I hope this inspired you to create a new story, to do something different. And if you want to contact me, here's my email, phone number, and on Facebook. You can find me on Iisa, Unstucking People, that's the Norwegian page. But we also filmed the speech here, so if you would like to repeat or something, you can find it on Unstucking People. And my English page is just starting up. You will find it on Iisa Global Unstucking. So feel free to contact, and I will be here a little bit more today and tomorrow. So hope to speak with you. Thank you very much.
you are fast students. It's amazing. I think all of you will join me in appreciating this. Certain skills you cannot acquire, but you can improve them. I just want to thank my university and thank myself for having been part of this. We cannot do more than this. But I just want to say, may God bless you, continue to give you this strength. You have energized me, and I want us this. Let's rise up and give us some more now. Let's stretch up. I can see so that we have the energy that she's saying. And I do not want us to have any more back. We just want to walk.